What's going on, guys? It is Friday, and that means we have a movie idiot show for you today. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to do this here. Sorry, guys. Little technical difficulty. There we go. All right, I am excited. I'm excited for today's movie idiot show. We got a lot of great topics to talk about today, and we also have a lot of great submission topics from you guys. So I'm excited. Let's get right to it. So we have a few things before I get to the user and all of your guys' comments that you sent in. So we had 4 comments sent in for today's show that I wanted to get to. So before I get to that though, we're gonna get to a few things off the top of the list here. So first thing that we're gonna talk about today, Amazon is considering, now as you guys know, AMC, the largest movie theater in the country, mind you, actually in the world, actually. AMC is the largest theater chain in the world. And Amazon is considering purchasing AMC, which is huge. It is ginormous news in the world of movies. What does this mean? What will this do? So basically here's the bottom line. if AMC goes down, again, the largest movie theater chain in the world, it would be very devastating to movies and movie studios and the movie business all around. Even AMC's competitors do not want AMC to falter. So the fact that Amazon is thinking of jumping in and actually saving them is amazing. It's amazing. And what could that mean for us, on the other end, right? So obviously Amazon has more money. Jeff Bezos can reach into his back pocket and pull out the $5 billion it's going to take to buy out AMC, because that's about as much debt that AMC has. It's about $5 billion with a B, billion dollars in debt for AMC, which again, Amazon for them, that's jump change. They can just pull, here we go. Oh, sorry, let me pour up my piggy bank and buy AMC for $5 billion. And that's, it's going to be great. And I think I am actually all for this. And the reason being is that I think Amazon can do a lot of things with AMC. They can incorporate a lot of things with AMC. As many of you know, Amazon has the stores in which you can, go in and purchase things. And literally you just get a bag. Let me try. You can go into a store and purchase things. Great job, Mike. Good job. Yeah, okay. All right, let's try that again. So you can walk into one of the Amazon stores. I forget what they're called right now, but you can walk into one of the Amazon stores and you can just get a bag and start scanning your ID or whatever, and then you start throwing things in the bag and then walk out. It automatically checks you out and you're gone. Well, this will work perfectly post-COVID for AMC, because you could start buying your concessions that way, which I think would be amazing. I think, especially, trying to keep contact down and everything like that. I think it'd be a great thing for AMC if you could just walk up and pick out your candy. Maybe they can even have pre-done buckets of popcorn, or automate it where you can, it'll just make your popcorn for you. And then you just pick that up and you walk right through it, boop, checked out, and you're good to go. Plus, obviously, Amazon has, a very broad, powerful, I keep wanting to call it an app. I guess Amazon's not really an app, is it? But a very broad, powerful reach in the world, basically. So I honestly think this is a great thing for AMC. I really hope that it comes to fruition. I hope it happens, because I think that obviously, again, the theater companies and the studios cannot afford for AMC to go under. So I really do hope that this actually goes through. So those are my thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys want to see Amazon walk in and buy AMC? Do you not want to see Amazon buy AMC? Why? Please comment below and let me know what you guys think. And also, by the way, I forgot to mention this at the start of the show. There are a few ways that you can obviously comment and send in comments to me. The first two are Facebook or Twitter, at Movie Idiot 1 just at Movie Idiot 1 on Facebook or Twitter. You can comment and send in comments for the show that way. Or you can email them, luckydjs20 at gmail. Oh, I'm sorry. That is not the right email. Let's try it again. themovieidiot at gmail.com. Yeah, I have my other business on the brain there. Themovieidiot at gmail.com is the email address for the Movie Idiot Show. So again, if you want to email on a topic, themovieidiot at gmail.com. Or again, you can do it on Twitter or Facebook at movieidiot1. And that being said, let's move on to our next topic off the top. So I discussed last week the movie Tenet is holding on to its, I think it was July 14th release date. But now, come to find out, Tenet, Mulan, and Wonder Woman 84 are all holding on to their release dates. Tenet comes in, I think it was July 14th for Tenet. I think it was 2 weeks later for Mulan. And then August, I don't remember the exact August date for Wonder Woman, but August is Wonder Woman's release date as well, Wonder Woman 84. So, yeah, so these movies, all three of them are holding steady. And there's another movie, a new Russell Crowe movie, which has jumped the line in front of all of them. I think it's called like Unhinged or something like that. I have not seen the trailer to this yet, although I'm very stoked to see it. It's probably going to be the next thing I do after this because I just heard about this news. So apparently this Russell Crowe movie has jumped the line and it is going to be released on July 3rd. So it's going to be first. So you're going to have this Unhinged movie. You're going to have Tenet. You're going to have Mulan, and then you're going to have Wonder Woman 84, boom, 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 right in a row, starting basically July 3rd. I think this is amazing, and I really hope that these movies stick to this, even if the New York or LA or Chicago markets are not open. I think the theaters need it. I think the studios need it. And even though, again, Chicago, New York, LA may not be open at that point, a lot of markets are opening up really fast. There's a lot going on right now with, states opening and whatnot. And I'm not going to get too political about that or anything like that, but there's a lot of going on with states opening and a lot of things all up in the air. But I do think that, assuming that everything is starting to open up by that point, I think those movies are good. And there's definitely a couple on here that I want to see for sure. I definitely want to see Tenet. Nolan is amazing. He's a genius, and I can't go wrong with him. And I definitely wanted to see Mulan. I'm very stoked for that one. And of course, Wonder Woman 84. Gal Gadot is coming back in her title role, and I really do think that it's going to be good, and I like that lineup, and I think that's a good way. And theaters are probably, hopefully, I think, going to open a few weeks before. They'll have like Endgame play. They'll have some of the your bigger Avatar and some tentpole type movies like that play during that time. Just to kind of get people acclimated to theaters. But I really think that it's good for these movies to stick to these movie dates because, it's going to get people back out, which is what we want as movie fans. We want people to come out and watch movies and share this experience with us. And again, I'm sure there will be, definitely restrictions that the theaters are going to have to do and definite steps they'll have to take. But I am all for it. I'm all for them keeping the dates. Let's go for it. Let's jump in the pool here. I'm for it. I want to see it happen. But what do you guys think about that lineup? All of these movies, again, sticking to their dates. Tenet, Mulan, Wonder Woman, and of course, again, that Unhinged, I believe it's called Unhinged, the Russell Crowe movie, jumping the line and, getting there on July 3rd, and they're going to kick the whole thing off. So what do you guys think? Again, comment below with your thoughts on that particular topic. All right, that moves us on to our next thing off the top, and this is going to be a rant, people, and it's a rant that I have been wanting to do for quite some time. There is a website out there who reports movie news. Now, like, you have your websites like Variety, Hollywood Reporter. There are quite a few who are legit entertainment websites who report legit news. And then you have this little bitch called WeGotThisCovered.com. And this is the one where you see all the links shared on Facebook. And it happens all the time. And you see, little things here and there from WeGotThisCovered.com. And I'm going to read one. I looked it up today. Because I wanted to see what today's big headline was on WeGotThisCovered.com. And I'm sure this is going to get shared all over Facebook. Headline: Chris Evans has reportedly had early talks to return to the MCU. Now, here's my issue. They start going into all this stuff. Chris Evans was initially very reluctant to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They go through all the history of him being Steve Rogers. They talk about, how, he left and, and it says how he's linked to a cameo appearance as Old Man Steve in the Winter Soldier show, which again, that is not verified information at all. But the biggest thing is this. They go through all this stuff and they say how he's going to be coming back. He's in talks to come back. And then they say this: according to our sources, the same ones who told us that She-Hulk and Ms. Marvel are coming to Disney Plus and that Extraction is getting a sequel, all that were correct. The current plan is for the sophomore season of the show, which they're talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, to find Sam struggling with the pressure and expectation of being Captain America and nobody else to turn to. He looks to his friend and mentor for some advice. And then the very next paragraph they said, well, nothing has been made official just yet. The two parties have only had talks. Every article they have, and there's been studies on them, WeGotThisCovered.com, and every article from them has this: our sources are secret, top secret. They're full of shit. They're literally making stuff up and posting it on the internet, and then people are sharing it all over the place thinking this is real news. These guys suck. They are the worst of the worst. They're clickbait artists. That's all they're looking for. And if you go on their site, I'm on the site right now, and there's so many ads all over the place. They're literally doing this to get advertising money. It's ridiculous. This is the worst site ever. There's no journalistic integrity. There's no validity, nothing. Do not ever share movie news from WeGotThisCovered.com. They are shit. They're garbage. They suck. And that's my rant for today. So what do you guys think about WeGotThisCovered.com? Have you heard of them? Do you think that I'm full of shit? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments below what you think. All right, let's move on to our next topic here. And this is the big one. This is the one we have been waiting for. The main topic today, and the main topic is Robert Pattinson. Is he dedicated to the Batman movie coming up? Now, in case you don't know, Robert Pattinson did an interview with GQ magazine. GQ does a lot of really great interviews with actors and artists and whatnot, and very in depth, always really good. And Robert Pattinson did an interview with them. And if you go to the article, it's really easy to find. Just Google GQ Robert Pattinson, comes right up. And, it goes through here and the, interviewer asks a question, Robert answers and whatnot. So it's really set up that it's not an article format, which is nice. But he gets to a part here. He gets to a part here where Robert is talking about being Batman and working out for the role. And Pattinson says, the film studio hired a trainer who left... so let me rephrase. This is them paraphrasing, and then they get to his quote. So, the film studio hired a trainer who left Pattinson with a Bosu ball and a single weight. Which, by the way, if you're training for Batman, why in the hell do you have a single weight and a Bosu ball? I mean, you got to be like jacking it up for Batman. This is Batman. But anyway, a Bosu ball and a single weight, and a sincere plea to use both. But right now he says he's ignoring her. Quote, I think if you're working out all the time, you're part of the problem, he says, sighing. By you, he means other actors. You, other actors, set a precedent. No one was doing this in the 70s. Even James Dean, he wasn't exactly ripped. Going on, the person writing the article says, he says that back when he was the star of the Twilight franchise, quote, the one time they told me to take off my shirt, I think they told me to put it back on. But Batman is Batman, Pattinson called another actor in a film, Zoe Kravitz, the other day. And she said she was exercising 5 days a week during the exile from set. Pattinson says to that, well, literally, I'm just barely doing anything. And he sighs again. Wow. Just wow. I'm of two minds on this. I'm going to start with my first one. The first one is, what? You're Batman. You gotta get in shape. Like, you gotta be ripped for this role. It's Batman. This isn't just any role. And by the way, his whole, James Dean didn't play Batman. And I feel strongly about that. And other film pundits I've seen comment on this have the same feelings, John Campia. But I also do feel, I'm going to try to temper that, and I'm going to say this. I mean, Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee was not jacked. But nobody was fucking with Bruce Lee. He was very intimidating looking, even though he was not jacked. If Pattinson can show up to Batman and not be Fat Man, which is the big thing, he can't be Fat Man, right? Like, he can't have weight on him. So as long as he does enough where he doesn't have weight, I guess that's a win. You can be lean as Batman because as somebody who mastered martial arts, which Batman has mastered martial arts, I mean, you can be very lean and do that. Now, Batman in the comics, of course, is super jacked, but it doesn't mean he has to be. They can pull it off without him being jacked, and I don't think he has to be like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He didn't even have to be as jacked as Affleck was to play the Batfleck. But big butts. Dude, you gotta do something. I swear to God, if this guy showed up on set with a baby gut, he should be fired. Like, he's getting paid millions of dollars. This is a very entitled attitude. It's part of the problem. James Dean didn't have to work out for roles. Why should I have to work out? No. No. You need to be in shape for Batman. Now, it doesn't have to be huge and bulky. I'll give him that. But you got to be in shape. Got to. And I'm floored. And like Pattinson, you know, if you guys know, he's been a very good actor, and a lot of people don't know him outside of Twilight, so they wouldn't know. But Pattinson's done a lot of very good indie roles the last, 10 years, and he's really improved as an actor. And you should definitely check out a lot of the roles he's done. I mean, the most recent one is The Lighthouse, which the movie itself is crazy. But him and Willem Dafoe are amazing in it. They do a great job. I mean, he is a very good actor. But that is the worst. That's the worst attitude I think I have ever seen. I've never even heard. I'm floored by it. But anyway, what do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts. So do you guys think that Pattinson should be busting his ass and working out, or do you think that you know what, James Dean didn't have to work out, so why should Pattinson, right? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on that particular subject. All right, so now we got our main topics done for the day. So we're going to get to our user topics here, our community topics, if you will. I guess community is probably better, right? Our movie fan community topics. And how do you, again, send in topics for the Movie Idiot Show? Pretty easy. Email themovieidiot@gmail.com. That's one. Or you can do it via Facebook or Twitter @movieidiot1. That's the other way to do it. So pretty simple. So we're going to start with our first comment of the day. And the first comment reads as follows. This is from Eric. Is the original content being created by streaming services affecting the film industry? That's an excellent question. I'm going to say yes and no. First of all, streaming services, Netflix being the main one, have been creating original content now for the better part of 5 years. I think maybe even longer. I think it's been maybe even longer. I mean, wasn't like House of Cards kind of the first from Netflix? And so, I mean, this has been around for a bit. So, is it affecting the film industry? Kind of. I'm going to say kind of. Here's my thought. These streaming services are taking up the film slots of those films and those film creators that where you'd get kind of your average ho-hum middle of the road type movie or bad. That's what streaming services are taking up. So look at movies, that come out on streaming services. You get your The Kissing Booth on Netflix, or you get, the Extraction, which I just watched, which I'm gonna get to, by the way, a movie review on Extraction in just a little bit. But Extraction with Thor, what the hell's his name? Chris Hemsworth. That's probably in the upper tier, whereas The Kissing Booth maybe in the lower tier. You get movies like Lady and the Tramp the remake, on Disney Plus, which dang it, I still haven't seen that movie yet. But so you're getting kind of those middle of the road, middle tier movies that normally would have either come out in theaters or they would have gone straight to video. Well, instead of going straight to video now, because physical media is pretty much dying, they're going to streaming services. So it is affecting it, but I don't think it's adversely affecting it. I mean, other than The Irishman, the Scorsese movie, there haven't been many movies that have come out on streaming that are so much like they haven't been like top tier movies really. Yes, The Irishman has, but like other than that, I feel like most of the movies are more the secondary tier, and so those aren't going to affect the theaters as much. And I think that in the end, like I feel anyway, it's not affecting motion picture like movie or theater releases. What's trying to collect my thought here for a minute. What has been affected, I think, more is TV. You're getting a lot more streaming services who are coming out with TV shows, and so your major networks are having a harder time competing with some of the amazing TV show content that is coming out on streaming services. Netflix has been knocking it out of the park. They have great shows. They have Ozark. They have The Witcher. They have if you're into the Dark Crystal, they have the whole Dark Crystal series. Netflix has just been coming with it one after another, and I think network TV is probably more affected by streaming services than your movies and movie theaters. So anyway, that's a pretty long-winded response to what you were asking, Eric, but a great question nonetheless, and thank you for that question, Eric. And we're going to go to our second question, and our second question today comes from Melissa, and Melissa asks, how will the quarantine affect production on various shows, and how will the TV and movie industry be impacted? Which, again, Melissa, is a great question. So, obviously, the quarantine has affected production on shows and movies because the quarantine has shut down production on shows and movies. Like, speaking of The Batman's been shut down for a while. The movie Uncharted with Tom Holland, they went to film day one and got shut down day one. They were shut down immediately. So yes, it's a huge effect. And it's going to continue to affect it. And here's the longer term effect. Like right now, there are movies in the pipeline, especially since a lot of movies didn't get to get released because of lockdown. So when lockdown, a lot of things are getting pushed off, right? But when lockdown ends and people are going back out to movies and content are being released, whether it be on TV or whether it be on streaming or in theaters, a lot of the content's getting released right away, and a lot of the content's going to hit as fast as they can because they're going to want to start recouping some of the cost. And the problem is production hasn't started on a lot of things, because production now, England has opened up the door for production right now. So that's kind of a mini news story. England has opened up the door for film production. They've said that under certain strict guidelines, they're going to start allowing movies to produce again. So that actually includes The Batman, which is one of the movies that are filming in England. So that's good news for one. And, you know, they're going to be getting started, but there's a gap. The question is how does the movie industry and how does the TV industry handle this gap? And to be honest, they're smart. I think they're going to handle it just fine. There are lulls in movie releasing, and there are lulls in TV, time. I think that they're going to try to fit this COVID gap, basically, into the lulls that they normally would have. And yeah, it may affect a little bit of it, but I honestly don't think it's going to affect it too much. I think it's going to be okay. But yes, we may have a period of time where there's kind of a lull in new releases. Now, some of the movies, for instance, have pushed off release for a whole year. So they may have thought of that already and said, look, in a year from now, there's going to be a little bit of a lull. We should release then we can have a bigger audience. So it's possible that will kind of make up for it a little bit. But yeah, there's definitely going to be an effect with the movie production. But as I said, a lot of movie production is starting up again. So, I mean, that's good. That's what we want. We want the movies to start, coming out again or producing again. We want them to get on film or on set and start filming, So I think that, to kind of answer everything, it's going to affect it. There are going to be there's definitely going to be some type of lull in new content at some point, but I don't think you'll see it right away because of all the stuff that got pushed off. So, but that's a great question, Melissa. And what do the rest of you think? What do the rest of you think about Melissa's question? A great question. So, moving on now, we have a third question here. Our third question comes from Tiny. Tiny asks, is there a need for prequels or sequels? And that's a good question. No, there's no need. I mean, to be honest, it's not a necessity, right? They could have come out with Star Wars A New Hope and left it at that. They could have come out with Avatar and left it at that. They could have come out with Iron Man and never made another one, and that's it. Is there a need? No. Is it really fucking cool? Yes. And I'm going to say a very unpopular thing. Even like the Star Wars prequels, although not good movies, they're really cool and add to the lore of Star Wars. Without those prequels, you don't get TV shows like the Clone Wars, which, it being Friday now and there are no more Clone Wars, is really kind of depressing. But I digress. You wouldn't have TV shows like the Clone Wars or Rebels. Without, prequels or sequels, you're not going to get an Avatar 2, which is coming. Without sequels, you don't get Avengers, you don't get Endgame and Infinity War, and you don't get the whole MCU as it is. You'd get partial, right? Or you might get an Avengers movie, but you might get one, And I think that the prequels and sequels definitely add something to that. And I think we can all agree on that. Hopefully we can all agree on that. Maybe not. I don't know. Film is subjective after all. But no, it's not necessary. You don't have to make a sequel unless you literally write it that way. So like Kill Bill, for instance. Kill Bill was written as a full story. So volumes 1 and 2 had to be released like that. So yeah, yes, that was a needed sequel because it's literally part of the thing. Infinity War and Endgame actually were filmed the same way. So I guess, yes, Endgame was a needed sequel because it was filmed all at once. So yes, you needed the sequel to kind of tie up this story. Although, you could have walked away from Infinity War just like that. Well, shit, half the population's gone. That's it. Good movie. Good night. it would have probably infuriated a lot of people, but he could have done it. But I don't think it's necessary. I think that it helps. I think that it's cool, and I think it helps build our storytelling. Are prequels and sequels oftentimes shitty? Yeah, they are. But I'd still rather have a shitty prequel and a shitty sequel than not. I'd still rather have the prequels in Star Wars than not. I'd still rather have the sequels in Star Wars than not. I'd still rather have, I don't know, even Highlander 2 and 3. They were not as good. I liked Highlander 2 than most people do, but still, guilty pleasure there. But, like, I still would rather have those than not. Yeah, they may suck, but I like it. I like the expansion on it's better. I always say this because people, especially, I keep going back to Star Wars, but it's so true with Star Wars. Star Wars fans are so nitpicky, and they're almost toxic in the way that they approach things. And Star Wars fans get so mad about their sequels and, oh, this isn't how the movie's supposed to be, and, blah, 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 blah. Dude, it's Star Wars. Even if it's shitty Star Wars, I think shitty Star Wars is better than no Star Wars at all, in my opinion. So, I get a little hot on that one because, like, come on, man. Yeah, okay, this wasn't what you were looking for, but somebody might really enjoy it. There are some people who enjoy the prequels in Star Wars. There are some people who, really love Justice League. There are some people who, enjoy these movies that, a lot of us would consider, excuse me, sorry about that. A lot of us would consider not very good. So I think that prequels and sequels add to the lore of something. You may not like what they add, but they do add to it, and then you can build on it. That's the other thing. You can build on what was built in the prequel or sequel. So, it's a long-winded answer to your question, Tiny, but I would say yes. Prequels and sequels are not needed, but yes, they are useful, and they are, they're fun, and I wouldn't have it any other way, even when they suck. So that's my opinion. What are your guys' opinion on that? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on that. What do you guys think of prequels and sequels? All right. Moving on to our next comment. And our final comment of the day comes from Jorge Rodriguez. Jorge Rodriguez asks a simple question. Are you Team Marvel or are you Team DC? Well, that answer is yes. Yes, I am. I'm going to answer kind of two-part. Overall, is a broad scope. I prefer the Marvel universe over the DC universe. I think the Marvel universe is much cooler, much more expansive, much better. But I love Batman. I love Superman. I love Wonder Woman. They're the holy trinity of superheroes. I love the Justice League first. I now, like, thanks to the MCU, I think I lean more towards the Avengers, but initially my first love was Justice League. I have a certain affinity for those titans. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, probably in that order, actually. And so in that way, I'm DC. Those three characters I love so much. But Marvel, Marvel has been so great about interconnecting their comic universes. So much better than DC, in my opinion. Going all the way back into the comics and now into the movies as well. And I think, and this is just a theory, I think that part of why the Marvel movies work so well is because of the fact that the Marvel comics were so intertwined. And it wasn't forced. And I think DC sometimes feels a little forced when you try to intertwine it, whereas Marvel doesn't. Marvel feels natural, feels right, that it's all connected, and that connection and the way that these characters work with each other and interact with each other. That's what I love about Marvel the most. They're amazing, and so I really think that Marvel as a full universe, as a full story, is better. But again, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, those three are the holy trinity of superheroes. And so I have a love for them that equals my love for the whole Marvel universe. So like I can't, like, my favorite Marvel character is Wolverine, and my second now is Tony Stark, but only because of the movies. Honestly, Iron Man is my favorite, or second favorite, because of the movies. Before then, it wouldn't have been. Wolverine was my favorite before any of the X-Men movies ever came out. But I didn't like Wolverine more than I like Batman. I love Batman more than I love Wolverine, and that's the thing. It's that those Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman have my initial heart. They were my first loves. And then Marvel came along and showed me a whole universe that was like, whoa, this is cool. Like, and so it's so hard for me to pick. I can't really pick, but that's the way I'll put it, is if you're talking a whole expanded universe and how they interact, Marvel. If you're talking characters, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are the holy trinity of superheroes. So I put them above all others as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Are you guys Team DC? Are you Team Marvel? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on that. And that was our final comment of the day. We only had one comment in the live chat today, and that is it's Jules, or Jules. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name, Jules. And they just said hi. So hi, Jules. Shout out to you, and thanks for watching. And that, my friends, will do it for the Movie Idiot Show today. So I want to thank you guys for checking it out. If you joined live, or if you are watching recording. Again, if you would like to send in comments for the next show, so we'll be doing the next one next Friday at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you would like to send in your comments or topics for the show, email again is themovieidiot@gmail.com. And then also you can send them in via Facebook or Twitter at movieidiot1. So again, themovieidiot@gmail.com or at movieidiot1 on Facebook or Twitter. You can hit me up on either, and maybe your comment will be a topic right here on the Movie Idiot Show. So again, I want to thank you guys, and hopefully, pretty soon we'll be able to get to the movies. I know that, again, that a lot of states are opening up a little bit, and so maybe some of the movie theaters will be opening up soon, and maybe they'll have, a safe way of doing it where we can go and we can enjoy what we love, movies, and of course, I hope you guys are enjoying all your TV shows. Oh, wait a minute, I can't end yet. Duh. I forgot. So I watched a couple of movies. This past week that I wanted to review. So the first movie that I wanted to talk about was Extraction. So the Chris Hemsworth movie on Netflix. Extraction. Really quick, I'm going to go over these because I totally gapped this and I totally forgot to talk about it. So Extraction is action-packed. The action is unbelievable in this movie. It kind of reminded me of 1917, the way they're able to maneuver the cameras and get you kind of a continuous flowing shot, but the shots moving through cars, and it's really cool the way they did it. So in that respect, that movie's awesome. Extraction tries to be heartfelt. It tries to hit you in the feels, and it misses. It does not, in my opinion anyway. It didn't have, I don't know why. I can't put my finger on why it wasn't able to connect But I just didn't feel the emotional connection in the emotional moments, and I think I don't know, and it's nothing that Hemsworth did. I thought Hemsworth was really good. I thought the kid was really good in it. I didn't really quite feel the emotional connection. Even like the scene with the guy from Hellboy and the guy from Stranger Things. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, even with him, it just I, I I was hoping for a little more on the connection. So, but you know, what are you gonna do, right? So, anyway, yeah, overall, it's a pretty good movie. I definitely recommend seeing it, Extraction, but at the same time, you know, temper your expectations a little bit. But I will say the action scenes are phenomenal. So definitely enjoy the action scenes. So check that out. The second movie that I saw was Rambo: Last Blood, and this was from Eric. Actually, last week talked about how he watched it, so I wanted to check it out. Rambo. If you are a fan of the Rambo franchise, you know that Rambo is a very brutal film franchise. It's very gory, very bloody, very, you know, and this one has its moments for sure. Very gory, very bloody. The payoff is pretty good at the end, but it lulls a lot. There's a lot of lull points, and it's almost like I was watching this movie going, haven't I seen this movie before? The plot kind of felt like just a reused plot. Instead, they just introduced an old Rambo in it, you know? It's worth a watch if you like Rambo. Definitely the ending it's got some brutal stuff going on at the end, but after that, you know, again, like story kind of lacked a little bit in that regard. So it was an okay movie. Okay, I'd give Rambo okay. The third movie I'm not finished with, so I'm not going to really comment on it yet, but I'm watching Parasite, which was last year's Best Picture winner at the Oscars. So I will comment on Parasite next week. So that being said, let's try this again. Thank you all for watching. Again, one more time, if you want to send in comments for the show, you can send them into Twitter or Facebook at MovieIdiot1, or you can email them, themovieidiots@gmail.com. Again, thank you guys for checking it out. And I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all later.